We're still up on the tripod. Well, good morning everybody. Hey, Jasper here. Wow, what a beautiful, beautiful morning. So, 1 minute the sun's out, the next minute it's cloudy. It's quite a windy day, although right here where I am, I'm sheltered. I'm between homes on this kind of beach escarpment or beach landscape kind of property. We're right next to Georgian Bay. Just at the other side of those houses is the beach, Georgian Bay. In fact, where we are is called Blue Water Beach. We parked our car all a ways behind us. We're on our hike to Balm Beach. Now this is a hike that I've done many times. I just love this hike, although I haven't done it recently simply because I've been working on a lot of elevation gain with my hiking. So I've been hiking Blue Mountain all the time. But anyhow, we're here today. We're here today to do a couple of things. One is just have a really nice kind of hike, somewhere around 24-25 kilometers today. Pretty flat, no hiking poles with me. A day pack with some snacks, some fruit, granola bars, flask of coffee. Chilly today. Well, it's about +2 to 0 degrees Celsius, so I guess it's about normal for this kind of year. Quite often at this time of year we've had a lot of snow on the ground, and we have had snow, but there's none right now. Take a little look at the street. Beautiful homes. In fact, I watched this one here get built, and there's more building going on all the time. But I've always liked this particular street, these particular homes, the more mature homes that have been here from the back when this was kind of developed, and before that it was just being forest. But anyhow, so yeah, our hike today takes us to Balm Beach. Promises to be exciting. It's going to be interesting. It always is. It's a relaxing kind of hike, so we try to step a good cadence. But hey, yeah, cars coming behind us. This hike takes us through a little bit of everything. A little bit of residential street and kind of shoreline lane, if you will. Forest area trails, beach with the lake and the waves crashing probably today because it's windy. So we'll probably get some crashing waves today along the beach area. And once we get to Balm Beach, we usually take a little break, have a sit down, have a snack, a little coffee or something, and then we head back, basically the way we came. Yeah. We're working on some new gear today, but it's not necessarily the gear that's specifically just for hiking. As a photographer and videographer, I'm constantly looking for better ways to capture images on trail and to shoot video on trail. Weight, of course, is super important. So I go with small, lightweight kind of photography gear. A DSLR camera, oh, for me, way too heavy, way too big for the trail. A mirrorless camera, yeah, very possible. But I like my GoPros for the videography, the video side of things. And also, I've captured on this channel, on Gary Clayton Photography, correction, I'm sorry. On my channel, trail named Jasper, all the images that I've displayed have all been captured with a GoPro. With that in mind, we've just upgraded, and that's what we're trying out today. This is the maiden voyage of our GoPro Hero 9. Now, the only reason that I purchased this camera, and it's the only reason, because the one I was using before this was a GoPro 8 Black. The only reason I'm using the 9, upgraded to the 9, is because of the still image capability. The GoPro Hero 8 and below, 7 and so on, all shot at 12.1 megapixel still images. The 9 shoots at 20.1 megapixels, a significant upgrade in still image quality from such a tiny camera with a tiny sensor. But it's the only reason I upgraded. There was no other need to upgrade. My 8 was fine, and my 7 black before that was fine. I went to the 8 for the 2.0 hyper stabilization. This now has the 3.0 stabilization, so that should make the footage even better, more stable. But again, it was the 20.1 megapixel still image capturing that attracted me to this camera. So the still images, hopefully, are going to have more detail. They're going to be better. They're going to give us a little bit more to work with. We can shoot in HDR. We can shoot in RAW, as well as JPEG with this camera. It's going to help us up the quality overall of our videos. But hey, enough babbling, as I sometimes say, because I do tend to babble. Just let's get to it. Let's start logging some miles on this absolutely gorgeous day out here on the trail. Let's go. As we make our way through this particular hike today, let's take a moment to answer one or two questions. And recently I've had several questions on the type of tents that I use, or the type of tent I recommend, and also water filtration. So Pam, this question is for you, or this answer may be anyhow. And again, keep in mind, this is only my 2 cents worth based on experience. It doesn't mean it's gospel. It's just my 2 cents worth. So tents. Now Pam, for instance, she's looking at the Mountain Gear Warehouse 2-man tent, which is exactly this tent that I've used, and I've used it a lot. So here's my 2 cents worth on that tent. That tent is, first of all, amazing in wet weather, thunderstorms, whatever, high winds. It's amazing. It's a great stealth tent. The color, the design, the shape of it, awesome for the Bruce Trail for stealth camping. Having said that, I cannot recommend it for a kind of all the time through hike tent. For me, I found the tent failed, although I did use it quite a bit, don't get me wrong, and it's a good tent. And it's perfect for, if you're the type of person that goes out camping maybe, you know, once or twice a month during the summer. It would probably last you years doing that. But if you're the kind of person that's going to camp on a through hike every night, week after week, month after month, then you're going to find that that tent will let you down. It's not designed for that kind of use and abuse that it would get on a through hike. Secondly, now, not to confuse with the 2-man tent, Mountain Gear also have a 2-man dome tent. That's a newer kind of product line for Mountain Gear Warehouse, which I did purchase. I used that tent on the Ganaraska Trail this year. I also used it after my Mountain Gear 2-man tent did fail me on the Bruce Trail Yo-Yo this year. At the end of that, I did take it back. I could not stop the water coming in that tent. Lots of space, but that one, the air vents being sat where they are, just invited water, especially if it's raining or even condensation, whatever. They just channel water down into the bathtub or the base of the tent every single day. And for that reason, when I got back home, I returned it. I got my money back, and that was fine. Thank you, Mountain Gear Warehouse, for refunding my money. If you want a tent that's not going to fail on you, a tent that is going to keep you dry, that is going to shelter you day after day, week after week, month after month, then you have to spend a little bit more money. My daughters this year bought me the Big Agnes copper spur UL2. Great tent so far. And there's other brands out there. I don't recommend Z-Pack simply because Z-Pack is a single wall tent. And I like a double wall tent. There's many nights I will lay there on a warm summer's night underneath just the mesh part of the tent and enjoying and sleeping right under the stars like that. But I'm protected from the bugs, which a Z-Pack single wall would not have that. Just something there to keep in mind. Okay, we are going to answer another question in regards to comments from Pam again. You're on a roll, Pam. And that's water filtration. Pam is using the Sawyer, which I use, the squeeze. So first of all, if you don't know this already, and you should, the bag that comes with the Sawyer squeeze is garbage and needs to be replaced immediately. It is garbage, and it will fail. You can buy more of them, and they'll all fail. A bag that's excellent for that Sawyer filter, with the same size thread, is what they call the knock. It's I believe it's spelled K-N-O-C, something like that, or whatever. But anyhow, it's a knock bag. It's a rubberized, squeezable, very strong, will last you a long time. You can sit on it, stand on it, whatever on it, it's not gonna fail. It's got the wide mouth, which is great for scooping up the water. That's what I use with my Sawyer. Having said that, do keep in mind, or something I want to throw out there too, is I have just made a major change to my water filtration, and I've gone with the Katadyn Be-Free. Now, it has a different filter and thread size than the Sawyer, so you can't use the same containers. However, they do make a knock bag now, I believe, for that Katadyn Be-Free filter. The kit, which costs you, I think it's about $49.99 or $59.99, I forget which I paid for that now, comes with just a 0.6 litre, though slightly over half a litre bag for scooping the water, which is okay, because I don't particularly carry water in the bag that I scoop my water in. I filter it into my 1 litre smart bottles. So the size of that bag isn't a major concern, but the reason why, two reasons why I have gone to the Katadyn Be-Free is my friend Andre, on our hike together with on the Ganaraska Trail earlier this summer, he used the Katadyn Be-Free and it did filter significantly faster than my Sawyer squeeze. Behind me, the Wimblewood General Store, closed for the winter, for the off season. But you know what, when I come through here in the summertime, it's a great place to stop. I get a freezy pop, I chat with the very nice lady that owns the business along with her son. Hey, but right now I'm just sitting at this picnic table. I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break, a couple of slurps of coffee, and my Freshie. I like these. These are Freshie kind of energy bites. From what I understand, they're good for you, or at least they're not bad for you. Well, okay, at least they're not as bad as other things for you. I don't know in this day and age. I try to eat right, I really do. A lot of fruit, a lot of granola, protein, yes, meats, vegetables, lots of vegetables, lots of fruit. Anyhow, I'm going to enjoy this little break and then we're going to keep going up this trail. Now this part of the trail takes us down to the beach, to the lake. Awesome. water warms up so nicely. It's beautiful for swimming, absolutely gorgeous. But this just being the end of November, well, that's pretty much going to turn to ice over the next couple of months. We'll be sure to get up here lots over the winter, we do. And I'm sure we'll make more videos of this area in the winter, hiking through here with all the ice and the snow. But again, come the spring, it melts, and by midsummer, the water is absolutely gorgeous. By about, mid-July, it's absolutely beautiful. It's just like a heated swimming pool. And it stays like that, through the rest of July, through August, through September. In October, it starts to cool down again as the nights start to get a little cooler. Let's just take a real good look at this beach. It's absolutely beautiful. For the next kilometer, we're kind of back in a sheltered area along the shore lane, if you will, that runs by the side of the lake. So there's a few cars passing by, some beautiful, beautiful lakefront homes. Absolutely gorgeous location to be in. A great place to have a home. A lot of these are weekend places and cottages and so on. But something I wanted to mention was recently we'd been talking a little bit about pack weight and so on, and I did get a few more comments and questions in that regard. So just to kind of sum up, if you will, earlier discussions on pack weight. For me personally, I'd been working with a pack weight with full water and 5 or 6 days of food. I was over 40 pounds, 42 pounds, and it was just too much. And the more I kind of researched and thought about it and so on, I decided, well, first of all, I'm gonna drop at least 10 pounds, at least 10 pounds. That's gonna make a big difference, but 10 pounds is a lot of weight to drop too. So I changed all my gear. I changed my pack, my sleeping pad, my sleeping bag, my shelter, my cook system. And I'm still working on that, by the way. But my goal, again with 2.5 liters of water and about 5 or so days of food, is 30 pounds or less. And then as I consume food and water or any consumables, that pack weight just drops. Gets down into the 20s, and as I'm getting closer to resupply days, that pack weight could be 20 pounds, and that's much better to work with than a 40 plus pound pack. So just kind of finishing off, if you will, the conversation that we were having on previous videos about pack weight. I would suggest to you, if you're a thru hiker or anticipating on being a thru hiker, or maybe thinking about doing the Bruce or any other trail as a thru hike, and it's your first one, you don't have maybe the experience of working with your pack weight, I would shoot for a target, a goal of not more than 30 pounds. I would work very, very hard to maintain that goal, to achieve that goal. And that you're going to do with the type of pack you buy, the sleeping bag, the shelter, the sleeping pad, the cook systems, and so on. What you're taking with you, what you actually need to accomplish the task at hand, because as thru hikers, that's really all we carry, is what we need to accomplish the task at hand. No big screen TVs, no, just what we need, again, to accomplish the task at hand, which is safely, efficiently, the emphasis being on safety, safely accomplishing the task at hand, or completing the thru hike, having a successful thru hike. So your rain gear is so important. It's not something you're going to go out and spend $20 on. Rain gear, lightweight rain gear, very expensive, but it must be good. And effective rain gear that's lightweight is going to cost. There's no doubt about it. Having said that, check out places like, or companies like Frog Togs. A lot of thru hikers are using Frog Tog rain jackets, and they're coming in at about $50 Canadian for a lightweight rain jacket. So that's like great, of course. But generally speaking, when you start looking at the Arc'teryx companies and companies such as that, and the Gore-Tex materials, you're at several $100s for a jacket, several hundred for pants, and so on. But they're going to be lightweight, very durable, and extremely efficient at protecting you from the elements as far as water's concerned, keeping your body dry. So again, just work on pack weight, and your goal, 30 pounds or less. And if you can do that, then you're on the right track. 30 pounds or less, 2.5 liters of water, 5 days of food, everything you need. Wanted to finish off the pack weight conversations we've been having with that final kind of statement. I just wanted to throw that in there on this particular video, because I meant to last time, and I just didn't have the opportunity. Okay, this GoPro, I'm noticing a few things already that I like. I'm noticing a few things already that I don't like. One thing that I don't like is the touch screen doesn't seem to be very sensitive to touch. I mean, I'm poking it, prodding it, jumping on it, and stabbing it. And after 10 attempts at, say, touching a particular button or command with my finger, it may or may not engage. I don't know if we can adjust the sensitivity of that, but mine may need adjusting. I don't know. I've got to work on that. But apart from that, battery life looks good so far. And I only have the one original GoPro battery that came with this camera. I do have two batteries, two not GoPro batteries ordered that come with a little charger. So I'll have more batteries in a few days when they come from Amazon.com. I'm liking it. Now, another little thing, we just talked about weight. Something I never thought about. As I'd mentioned, first of all, that this camera has 20.1 megapixel compared to the predecessor, the GoPro Hero 8 Black, that had 12.1. That was my reason, as I've said earlier, for buying. What I didn't think about it was, this camera is 1.5 ounces heavier than the GoPro 8. Now, that might not seem like a lot, but as I've just finished saying, weight is everything on a thru hike. So I'm not happy about that 1.5 ounces, and for some reason it never entered my mind when I was buying it that this camera could be heavier, even though I knew it had a slightly larger battery, and it was just ever so slightly, and it is ever so slightly, physically bigger than the GoPro Hero 8 Black. It's only so slightly that you wouldn't really think about it that much, but you do notice it. But anyhow, 1.5 ounces heavier than its predecessor. So now I've got another 1.5 ounces to drop, just to be on par with where I was just a few days ago with my overall weight. Okay. Like I said, it's constant work in progress, and I've still got quite a bit of trimming to do. Also, battery packs, by the way. As a photographer and vlogger, I use a lot of electricity. Battery packs are heavy battery banks, They're heavy. So I'm kind of working on that, what I can get that's the lightest and yet packs the most punch, if you will. Again, that's not something that's going to cost 20 bucks. That's going to be a lot of money, or quite a bit of money, for a battery bank that's the lightest I can get, that packs the most power I can get. Okay, getting closer and closer to Balm Beach, where we're going to have our coffee, have our break, and then eventually we'll just turn around and head back the same way we came. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, across the way there, just across the way, there's Santa Claus and Frosty the Snowman. Yeah, wow, sunshine, beautiful, beautiful place. Coming into Balm Beach, just on the outskirts, if you will. We're in Balm Beach now, really, but anyhow, beautiful. Arriving at Balm Beach. Windy again, right down by the water. No shelter here. Most things are closed now. In fact, everything's closed except the Bingham's general store. It's open all winter, and they do great in the winter. They do great in the summer. But everything else is closed. The arcade, of course, again, it's closed too. A very busy spot in the summer. But I sit right here, right on these steps, right where my shadow is, and that is where I have my coffee and my snack. Then we'll head back. Hey, thank you for joining me today. Thank you for watching my channel. Thank you for coming with me. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. I have been taking some still images. After all, that's why we purchased this camera. So let's take a look at those now, and I'll see you next time. Bye.